X, the former Twitter, is more alive than ever before. And if you're not on it, you probably should. It has conversations that are going everywhere 24/7. And today, we're going to show you how to set up your account better and how you can start using Bemodo to create great content. I had him on a couple of weeks ago, and his 3-year-old Finn came in and interrupted the call. Is
Meatball.
Finn taken care of today?
That's meatball.
A meatball came in and interrupted. It was a great metaphor for, I
Yeah.
guess, just what happens when you're, well, when you're doing content during the day, especially if you've got a home office. So, I've got on the phone my big brother, Brian.
It's
Brian, thanks
not.
for being on.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So we're going to explore your account today, and we're
Let's
going to
do it.
go through, and I'm going to bring you up on the screen, and we're
It's
going to talk about what you need to do to regain your traction.
or
So
don't
while I'm
do.
sharing my screen, why don't you give a quick rundown? Now remember, last time my wife yelled at me because I went over 20 minutes, and I blame it all on you. So give me an update of how your how your account is going. And
So,
by the way, we're also on a place that you can't hang up when I'm said I'm done because it has to upload.
got
I
it.
feel like I'm
All right.
talking
I'm
to
sorry.
I feel like I'm talking to a 90-year-old when I've got you on the phone. So go
That's
ahead and
for.
let's.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
All right. So I'm going to run you through the last 7 days. It's been fascinating.
All right,
So
let's hear it.
let's go 7 days. So on Thursday, February 13th, I had 153,924 views.
Yeah.
Next, February 14th, 43,000.
Okay.
15th, 19,000.
All right.
16th, 5,600.
So you were killing it, and
And now, today, I have 859.
all right. So it's pretty clear to me what has happened. So I've got my account on the screen right now. So Brian was well on track to be able to be monetized. And one thing that Brian did extremely well, as I'm getting this all to fit on here. One thing that Brian did extremely well is he was Mr. Reply Guy.
I
The
am reply guy.
problem is that he was completely dependent on the reply guy strategy. The reply guy
100%.
strategy just means that you go in and you reply to a lot of people. So I'll give you an example. This is my account on there. And one of the things that Brian hasn't done, he hasn't created his poster, right here, his banner. He doesn't have a picture of himself on here because he was very replying or very, very, I guess, let's just say niched into doing one thing and one thing only on X,
Definitely.
right? What were you doing?
So, right after the election, I don't know what your audience is, but the liberals.
It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to have a
It's so
different way of going about it. So just
there
go ahead and
was
be you. Don't
so
dilute.
much low hanging fruit, and I'm by nature kind of a smart aleck or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it.
Yeah.
And it was just really easy, and like anything I would post would get
Well, let's
anything.
also be clear. You
Oh,
have the tongue that is, or you have the writing style of a scalpel,
sure.
and so you were getting. Let's just say this, Brian. This is why it goes long, and my wife yelled at me last
Yeah, yeah.
time. It's because Brian doesn't do anything short. Brian was being really, really, really mean to Democrats.
I
In
was,
particular,
yes.
he's being mean to Chuck Schumer, Adam Schiff. Who else were
Yes.
you being mean to?
Um, Adam Schiff, Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth
All
Warren. So
right,
Brian
so
was being really, really mean to them. And so Brian wasn't breaking the rules per se, but
no.
because he was completely dependent upon their reactions, I've got on my screen and I'm going to show you what happened to Brian. Most likely, one, they didn't block him. You can be blocked. But Brian, with his low hanging fruit, he used up all the low hanging fruit. So I'm going to go into a story I posted today. I post a story almost every day, and they get anywhere from 14,000 views all the way up to who knows how many views they've got.
Hey, those were the good old days for me. 14,000. That was
All
good.
right, so I'm going to show you this one. This is let's show some more of these. These are, whoops, I didn't mean to report that one. Oh, here it is. Yes, this is I did mean to report this one. So this is a spam content on my thing. Also right here, automated. So controversial tech topics. So let's just go on here and let's report this one. And this is what was happening to Brian. So you can block him, which they didn't block Brian, or they can report him. And I'm
Yeah.
guessing because he did it so frequently, they probably reported him as hate, abuse, actually, is highly
That's.
likely.
I'm pretty sure that's it right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so insults, unwanted sexual content, he didn't do that,
No.
objectification, but targeted
No.
harassment and harassing. So it's highly likely that
Yeah.
Brian got banned from those particular
Yeah, but
ones.
they
I mean,
were
that's
all
terrible.
factual. I mean, I backed it up with like
Doesn't
receipts.
matter. Doesn't
Like,
matter if you've got someone as important as that. It's highly likely that's why you went from 150,000
mm,
impressions all the way down to nothing. So let's go into mine,
so,
and you can say, "Oh, Jeff, you've only got a couple thousand
no,
followers."
so I sent you my screenshot of my 3 month graph, and you can just see it. Like it's really pretty impressive.
All right, so let's look at it. It's right here. This is him sending to me.
Boom,
Super, super impressive. And then what happened? Boom, nothing.
boom.
And I'm gonna pull up your account and I'm just going to pick
Please
it
do.
apart and tell you what you've got to fix, because this week's topic for the AI Power 20 is how to create content. And I've been telling him, I've been saying, gotta diversify, gotta diversify. So
Mm-hmm.
he had a lot more traffic than me, but now he's nowhere close. So
Tortoise
for
in the
example,
hair,
this
man.
was my traffic on Sunday, 97,000. Today I'm at 62,000.
Yeah.
And mine's very, I'll have good days where I'm almost to 100,000, but I am 100% ticking upward. I'm pretty close. I need 500 verified followers, and I need 1.5 million impressions per month, a little bit more than that, to be able to become verified. And that means that you start to get paid. This has
Yeah.
all been done in just over a month. So I want to talk to you guys today by using Brian to give an idea of how it is that you can do better without getting banned by Chuck Schumer. All right, so
I
let's
got banned by
bring
Chuck
up
Schumer.
let's bring
Let's go with
Brian
Chuck
up here.
Schumer. He's really important. So it might have been a collection of people, but
Well, it wasn't Chuck Schumer, but it was likely his person. So
yeah,
immediately looking at this, so he's got 3,000 followers. He's following a lot of people, which if he would start to do what I'm going to show you today, he wouldn't need to follow this many people. And once you become an influencer, you want to make it look like you're have a lot more followers than
yeah.
following.
I've got an inverse ratio. I can see that. Yeah.
You do. So, couple things. It's going to take your tick off, but you need to put a picture of you. How
I
many
don't want
times
a
have I
picture
told
of
you?
me on there.
I've told you a million times, if you want to sell a product, you're going to have to let people know who you are. So if you don't want to sell a product, then go ahead and just have this stupid picture of a river. How's that?
Hey, it's on the way up to Idaho City. It's really pretty.
I'm highly recommending that you put a picture of you right
Okay.
here. You also need to create a banner, and on the banner, you need to have some type of product or what you're doing. Some people can disagree with it, and they can say, "Oh, that's whatever they want to say." But you have, for example, right here, you're followed by Gunther Engelman.
That's pretty
Gunther,
good.
yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Um, Gunther has lots of people, so let's bring him up. Here's
Okay, wait,
and
wait,
the
wait.
thing
Go
is,
down to my limerick I wrote.
no, I'm not going to. It's going
Oh,
to
come
take too
on.
long.
All right.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show what happens when you actually do something.
Yeah, that's
Gunther
good.
follows you, and he has 1.2 million followers. Now, you would be considered on here a far right leaning person,
Okay.
but you have a guy that's got 1.2 million followers, and every time that he posts, he gets a gajillion
Yes, that's
views
really
on it.
good.
So this is a big deal, and you don't even know that because
I do.
let's just say this, that your way of getting views has now been completely cut off.
Yeah.
Okay. And in order to have my wife not yell at me today, I'm going to go through and I'm going to give you some recommendations. But by the way, the last time we did this, it got a lot of views, and I think it had to do with more to do
Meatball.
with Finn, Meatball, your 3-year-old, than
Yeah,
it did you.
for
So
sure.
you can do this if you want to, but if
No,
not,
I'm going to do it. Like
okay.
I promise
Number
you.
one, you got to put a banner up.
I don't know what. Okay, so what is a banner? Like I
It's
understand it
this
was
big
something.
gray bar that you have right
What do
here.
you put there? Like what?
All right. So I've actually shared this with you, and I'm going to
I know
share it
you have,
again.
but there's a lot of moving parts, and you're.
So we're going to go step by step. Banner, check it off. Say, yes, I'm going to do it.
I'm doing it.
All right.
Banner.
Take a picture of yourself. Put it here.
All right.
Okay. Now you're going to be more
That's okay.
diversified.
So that's going to be my biggest stumbling block. I'm actually not. I'm very self conscious,
Then
Steve.
get over it. It's kind of thing that you're 2 years older than me and you have all your hair. So love it. Yep, look at all that. I'm not quite sure how we have the same DNA. It's not fair, but it is. So get over it and take your dang picture. Next thing, we're going to diversify your content.
Please.
Okay, so I'm going to go into Bemodo
I
and
need
I'm
to
going to show
snap.
you. So I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm going to do this. We're going to call it. Um, we're going to call this conversation. Brian gets his crap together
Brian gets popular.
on X. You obviously been cut off by Chuck Schumer. So come on, man, you got to diversify. I've been telling you, been telling you, been telling you.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
he's so much
pull off.
fun to mess with. I mean,
Oh
I'm sorry.
well, you see what happens
I do.
when people of power start to report you.
That's
So
true.
next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make sure there's no avatar in here, and I'm gonna go into this other one here, and I'm gonna show you the templates. So I'll go back to the way people will see it when they first come in. So all you got to do is pull up viral tweet.
Hmm.
This is so magical.
That
It's
is
so
really
magical.
good, by the way. I have used that often.
And it works. After you train an avatar, there's so many different ways to easily put out some tweets.
There is.
So I'm
I
going to
will
show you
attest to that.
today by how I make a tweet thread. And let's look at my tweet threads really quickly to see how well they've done. We're going to go back to my account. All right, so click on me. You can see if you go into my highlights, you can see that my tweet threads do quite well. This is a guy that's fascinating. I don't know. He spent $2 million. It didn't do as well as some of the others, but it had 14,000 impressions. I did one on Donald Trump and what Martin Luther King Jr., Julius Caesar, Joan of Arc would say to him. And if you click these open,
Pretty
you'll
clever,
see
right?
that I used Grok then. I used Bemodo to create the content,
Grok's pretty good.
and then I used Grok to make the photos, right? And there, it's really interesting, you know. And Bemodo hypothesized what these famous leaders would say. I
That's really
recommend you.
clever. I like that.
Well, follow me at Jeff Boyle, and you'll see that every day I put out one of these. Well, I'm going to eventually slow down, but the one that did quite well was this one about Elon Musk,
That's pretty
about what
good.
the founding fathers and even a famous general would have said about our debt being 36 trillion. And it's just what Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln,
So good.
good old Teddy, you know, and then we put Ulysses Grant, Andrew Jackson. My favorite was George Patton. I had a
Patton.
guy say
Yeah,
you should have
that
put
one's
F
good.
words in there or something like that. But anyways, Ronald Reagan, and I got, you know, a lot of views like this. But I'm going to show you how easy it is to do a thread, especially since you know how to use Grok to make images,
I'm
right?
pretty good. My biggest Grok image thing was I made one of Adam's shit.
This is where that's what I tell you. You took advantage of the low hanging fruit,
It
but you
was
did
so
too
good.
much. You ding dong. I just did a quick search on this, and I grabbed some things about Fort Knox. So apparently, there's a lot of concern
Why?
because
Yeah.
no one's been able to audit Fort Knox since 1974.
It was
That our
Nixon, by the way,
government,
liberals. Yeah, we don't like him either.
well,
KKK.
it's that there's the fear that it has been stolen. $300 billion of it has been stolen.
I think
Shocking.
Goldfinger made it nuclear reactive.
Well,
That's what I
Goldfinger.
think.
Now you're pulling out the movie quotes with it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go into the viral tweets here, and I'm just going to show you right here. I'm going to type in thread. So it's just called converting content to a tweet thread. Grab it right
Yeah,
there.
that one's really good. Yeah.
We go to the conversation. Brian gets his crap together on it. I'm just going to
That'll
paste
be the
this in here.
day.
All I did was I just did a quick search for different things that are out there, and I posted all in here, and I can put a short description. When you do these, what you need to do is you need to put an offer at the end of it. This is what I've been saying to you. Dang it, Brian, make your stinking offer.
Like
My
what?
free
Like,
offer,
help me out. Like
I've
you've
been giving you a
always been good
suggestion.
at creating stuff, and
You just got too
let's do
reliant
what I
upon being
do.
mean to Democrats. So I just put my name in here. I put the link to my free trial on Bemodo, and I put my handle, and I'm going to say I want longer ones right here. I'm going to put it up to, I'll do long ones. I'm going to select my avatar right here. We're going to select Jeffrey AI. He's got a good thing. And I'm going to put, I want 10 tweets on this thread, and I want the tone and style. I'm just going to say, see my reference files from my avatar. So you could put it here. You could put Seth Godin. You could put Joe Rogan. Why don't we do Joe Rogan?
How about
So
you do me? See how?
yeah, then it'll be making fun of people. So mimic the tone and style of Joe Rogan, and this makes a longer one. So then I just have to hit go, and it's going to give me 95% of what I need to be able. You can see, just I did a quick search, put those things on there for my research, and it's going to take all of that content, and it's going to turn it into a thread. All right, bingo, done. Bring it over here.
Can I get one comment in? So, like, the thing that's astounded me about Joe Rogan is that his stuff is way longer than anybody else's, and the conventional wisdom is don't go long, right? Because short attention span. But he's so interesting in his conversational tone that people just sit there and listen to it. And
Well, if you listen to another guy that I love to listen to, which is Alex Hermosa, he says long is fine as if it's interesting. The reason why
yeah,
Joe Rogan gets away with it, it's fine. And so with this one, I've got most of what I need already. Now I would just go into, and for sake of time, I'm not going to do it, but now you can just, if you're on Grok, you can go into Grok and you can just say, give me an image of Elon Musk inside of Fort Knox, shocked that there is only one gold bar left. So, boom. Now it's going to give me some images. I can edit them. But that's one of the reasons why Grok is great, because it does the images and I don't have to buy
yeah.
Mid-Journey or anything like that.
Well, and you have to coach it. Like what I've done, my most successful ones, I've chosen one and I've kind of just beat it into submission over, 3 or 4 or 5 different
Yep.
things. But I mean, I'm going to go on record. I think Fort Knox is a big deal. Like, I just do.
Well,
It's,
it is a big deal, and you can see with
yeah,
this one,
like,
I've got a couple that I'd be able to use. I'd like to make it more cartoony, so I'll make that change later. But what I recommend, highly recommend, Brian, is,
huh?
for example, you've been in family law, you've been in a lot of different things.
Venture capital, family,
Venture
I mean, name
capital.
it.
You
I've
need to
done
find your
it.
area. I'm going to take you into templates here and give you some recommendations. This is going to be your homework, okay? So it's really easy to create content. So on here you can see that there's a lot of different things, but just go to the viral tweets and there's a lot of different things that you can find. The other thing that I've recommended Brian do about 15 times is he goes to 7-day launch bonuses right here. And
Okay.
on these 7-day launch bonuses, there's a thing right here called the Holy Grail Product Creator. Holy Grail Product Creator. And I've also recommended, I'm going to pull up my drive here, and I'm going to put up this one. Anybody that wants to be able to really figure out how to make X work, ask me for this document, and it walks you through step by step what you have to do to be
Yeah.
able to make it work. And one of those is, of course, having Bemodo, because I've got all of these prompts on here. But I also have in here, it walks you through what you need to do to create your niche. And that's what it is right here, this Holy Grail Product Creator. It will walk you through step by step by step, and it'll give you suggestions on how to make a good product. So here's your to-dos. Oh
So,
my gosh, I'm almost at 20 minutes. My
okay,
wife and I
hold
are.
on. Can I give you a shameless plug? Tell me what
Yes.
you think. All right, so I've used Bemodo in every aspect of my life that I care about. All right, so X is really the only, I don't even know if it's social media, whatever it is, that I've gotten into. I tried Facebook, LinkedIn, boring, 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 boring. I've kind of gotten into X because it fits my personality better. But in every productive area of my life, I've used Bemodo. And it's AI is AI, but Bemodo allows you to do things that other platforms don't. And so, yes, I would love to be a successful X influencer.
Well, you were
That would be
born for it.
great.
You were born for it because it's made upon really sharp, quick ideas. And this is my recommendation. I will help you make your dad burn banner.
Okay.
Get a stinking photo taken. Do that that prompt that I told you, which will help you
Gus'
create a
mom, she's got a
product.
million of them. All right, so
Create a product. It's going to be a digital product, and they're much easier to sell.
yeah,
Then once an hour for 15 hours, starting at 6 a.m. our time, which is 8 a.m.
easy.
Eastern.
I'm
You
up at
need to
5.
have a tweet go out, and
Okay.
they're so easy to make with this. Now you're capable of doing it yourself, but these are all made, and I'll just give you a really quick example of this one. I'm going to have it give you 10 examples, number of characters, 140 characters each.
Ooh.
Topic of the tweet is money stolen from Fort Knox,
Yeah, I mean, this is
and
gonna be big, guys.
Fort Knox
Gonna be
and
big.
Elon Musk wants to investigate. So this isn't going to be the best type of tweet format that I've picked, but I'm going to put in here mimic. I'm going to pull off my avatar here, and I'm going to put on here mimic the tone and style of Joe Rogan.
Okay.
And what this is going to do is it's going to give us 10 different tweets of 140 characters for Brian to choose from. And
So that's
right
pretty.
here, so you can pick the one that you like best. You don't have to be a great writer. Unpopular opinion: Fort Knox is a treasure trove. It's a vault of secrets. Events. If Musk wants to answer, the government should open up. So it did pretty good with
Yeah, that's
these,
pretty good.
without a lot of information. Elon Musk asking to inspect Fort Knox isn't just about gold. It's about our collective truth in institutions. Why? Oh, okay.
No, that's
Boom.
pretty good. So, do you remember when we were adolescents in the '80s? Do you remember
All
that
right.
kind of?
I'm just gonna post. So that
Do you
gave me a
remember Jimmy
post.
Hoffa? Remember the whole Jimmy Hoffa buzz? Like,
Sure.
this is going to be that. I'm telling you.
Yep. Well, that's just an example of how easy it is to do. You can schedule those. You can use different programs to be able to schedule them for you. But there's really no reason. There's no
Okay.
reason you
It's
can't do
really
this
cool.
because every one of these templates under the viral tweet, these all work. It's super easy to make the long ones. And Brian, as a recap, and we'll turn it off. My wife's gonna be so proud of me.
Banner, photo of myself. Can it
It's
be
right
like
here. Need a
1996?
banner?
Can it be 1996 me?
You bet.
All right.
I think it's a mistake, but I think people should put their current one. Uh, but right here, it's because what do we help people do? We help people grow. This up to date, I've always ignored it, but I'm growing by 25 to 65 people per day. I'm getting tens of thousands of views every single day. It is one of the coolest platforms for our type of personality. And what I have found is I am getting a ton of messages, and we are creating all kinds of business with it. Guys,
Yeah.
creating content with X and Bemodo is so easy. Be on the call tomorrow. It's
I
at
will.
2 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Eastern, and make sure that you subscribe to the newsletter. And every week we send out these AI Power 20. Today it's the AI Power 24, but it's because Brian talks a lot, and I talked most of it. But anyway,
That's my ice maker. Sorry about that.
that's okay. So this just flat out works.
It
Brian,
does.
fix it. Quit
I will.
talking to Chuck Schumer, dad. So much dad burn time, and,
Yep.
and start adding
Okay.
some value out
Right.
there.
All right. Hey, I love you. Bemodo works. Trust me, it does. So get on it, and Jeff, you're doing great, man. Love you.
Bye, guys.